Yeah. From Texas roots to that Alabama soil. Made a man out of me, standing on it. I stand on business, 10 toes in the dirt. Learned from the pain, had to bleed through the hurt. They switched up quick, now I see what it's worth. If it ain't real love, I'ma leave it at first. I stand on business, no folding, no bend. Lost a few souls, still I rise again. Got blues in my blood, but I smile through sin. If I said it, I meant it, I stand on it then. Yeah. Texas born with the fire in my chest, but Bama raised me, gave me heart in my steps. Red dirt roads push strength in my breath, turn a young soul into a man through tests. Back road riding, late night banking, engine humming got my soul steady sinking. Seen fake love turn cold in the blink, had to cut ties, couldn't drown in the drink. Mama said, boy, keep your word like gold. Life gon' test everything that you hold. Now I'm out here trying not to lose my soul. While the world keep pushing, trying to break my code. They love when you're down, they hate when you rise. Smile in your face, God envy in their eyes. So I move with a purpose, I don't move all vibes. Too much truth in me, I ain't living in the skies. From them Texas skies to Alabama rain. Oh, I done felt that joy and pain. Still I stand. Still I stand. Oh, I stand on business, 10 toes in the dirt. Learned from the pain, had to bleed through the hurt. They switched up quick, now I see what it's worth. If it ain't real love, I'ma leave it at first. I stand on business, no folding, no bend. Lost a few souls, still I rise again. Got blues in my blood, but I smile through sin. If I said it, I meant it, I stand on it then. Yeah. Missed them birthdays, highway miles, talking to the Lord through windshield trials. From Texas roots to Bama, grown style, still carry both every step, every mile. I gave my heart, they played their part, left me scarred, but it made me smart. Now I build from the ground, brick by brick. Every loss taught me how to move quick. Ain't no shortcuts on the road I'm on. Just faith in my steps and a microphone. Turn my past into these songs I own. Now my truth hit harder than a dial tone. Look. Texas made me. Alabama raised me. Life tested me. Now I stand on it. I stand on business. 10 toes in the dirt. Learned from the pain, had to bleed through the hurt. They switched up quick, now I see what it's worth. If it ain't real love, I'ma leave it at first. I stand on business, no folding, no bend. Lost a few souls, still I rise again. Got blues in my blood, but I smile through sin. If I said it, I meant it, I stand on it then. Yeah. 2 states. 1 story. No more halfway living.
All right, y'all. Welcome to a joint collaboration of the Cellulite Podcast and 1250 Podcast. Let me go ahead and bring up the co-host of the show. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's going on, good people? How y'all feeling today? Or tonight, I should say.
So today we're going to be having a little bit of a discussion. We're going to be getting down to the nitty-gritty. But a lot of people really don't know who you are on my side of the game. So do me a favor. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell people.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm centered properly. Let me make sure I'm centered properly. Yeah, so they can see the mug, you know. Man, hey, I run 1250 Podcast, man, where we hold everybody accountable for their actions and we hold everybody to a high standard, man. We don't play around, we don't beat around the bush, right? And I'm gonna give you what you give me. I'm gonna treat you how you treat me. So we're going to keep it peaceful and respectful. And as long as we do that, we great, man.
Square biz. I like it. I like it. I like it. So before we get off into this thing, I want to get I want to set a term, like a premise, right? Let's first start with, what's your basic understanding of this whole entire fiasco around this whole Karmelo Anthony situation?
All right, when you ask that question, I need you to be a little bit more specific. Like, you
Okay.
want to know my opinion based on what I gathered, or you want to know how I saw it from the start?
Let's go with your how you saw it from the start, and then let's elaborate with your opinion.
Okay, how I saw it from the start was a rapid story that got way out of hand of something that was simple that they made complicated.
Mhm.
And it was based off a police report. But if you read that police report, it said that it was not word for word. It was a
Mhm.
summary of statements that were made. And I was just telling people, be patient, because what you think might be shown in court or said in court, once you get to court, those statements will change. People
Yeah.
will start to recount. People will say different things. You had multiple witnesses. And even in the police report, they was giving mixed accounts of what took place.
Yeah.
And I told people that their whole thing is based on witness testimony. And a lot of people said, well, he admitted it. You got to understand, when he said I did it, he did not know that the man lost his life.
Gotcha.
He didn't even know that he was going to lose his life.
Mhm.
What he admitted to was what was in his brain was that he acted in self-defense.
Mhm.
That's what he admitted to. I protected myself. But the outcome was he took a life.
Yeah.
Right. And then,
Mhm.
you had people jump on back and forth with the race baiting and all of that. And it's a lot of people that's just ignoring high school vernacular. And that's
Mhm.
where I'll be pushing back on people, because tell me what high school student you know is going to ask someone nicely 15 times to move or get out of somewhere.
Not where I come from. You're not gonna be asked nicely. 9 times out of 10, it might be, hey, bro, you need to move from around here. You need to move around. But typically, it's gonna come with some tension. Not what that's where I come from.
And that's what I'm saying. So I'm listening to what is being said, but it was only what Karmelo Anthony was said for a whole year. Wasn't nobody hearing what Austin Metcalf said. And that was my issue with it. Because it was a back and forth. It wasn't just a one-sided ordeal,
Mhm.
but everybody made it one-sided. And then everybody piled up on this kid without doing no research. He just fit the profile. He
Yeah.
fit the profile. He young, he black,
Yeah.
and he killed somebody.
Correct. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, because we're not in the opinion stage yet. We just telling what we get from it. When this first came out, by the way, shout out to everybody that's in the building. Make sure y'all are double, triple tapping your screen. Make sure you liking the stream, whichever platform you watching on. Make sure that you supporting the platform by way of super chat on 1250 side. And if you supporting on my side, you got 3 different ways to do so. You got Cash App, you got PayPal, you got Venmo. But when this case first broke a year ago, right, a lot of people was asking me to commentate on it because they know I love to break down trial cases. I love, especially ones that's very, very impactful, and I think is going to set a precedent. The first thing I said was no one needs to be talking about this. I think everybody needs to wait until all of the facts come out, right? But initially, as like you said, everybody started putting their own anecdotal experiences into it. They start bringing up the racial tensions, and then the biggest thing was it was an automatic. Well, he's white, he's black, so he should be innocent because it's racist down there in Frisco, Texas. And I'm just like, okay, and I can understand that position. But the biggest thing is we don't know what happened because this is before we even got the police report. You see what I'm saying? Now, once we got the police report, of course, everybody started picking through it. They start cherry picking it. And it was just like, okay, he's guilty because of this, because you got spontaneous admission. Well, the witness statement, this witness report and this witness report don't match up with this witness report. So people start picking through it. But then it became hectic to where it became like well, now we have to wait until the trial. Like, is it going to be the cameras and things like that? My biggest thing was this is a person who has lost their life and a person who, by their own words, saying that, I had to defend myself because they put their hands on me. You see what I'm saying? So now we get to the opinion part. So now that we in the stage that we in now, after the trial, after the conviction, after the verdict, after the sentence and all that, what's your opinion about the case?
My opinion never changed.
Mhm.
Like from my research and what I got and from what I got from the story,
Mhm.
it wasn't murder.
Mhm.
It wasn't murder.
Gotcha.
Like he was going to do some time regardless.
Mhm.
Can you stab someone who don't have a weapon? Actually, you can. See,
Mhm.
that's another thing. You can. But in this instant, you can't.
Mhm.
Because had he had waited, and let's say he waited and Austin got on top of him, then that's when size come into factor. He's a
Mhm.
bigger person on top of me. And I'm fearing that he can seriously do, but now you can see that. He's on
Mhm.
top of me. And if he hit him one time while he's on top of him, right? And some
Mhm.
will say he should, if he really knew something, he should have waited and allowed him to force himself on top of him and then poked him. Because now you have a
Okay.
better shot. Because he's
Okay.
bigger than you, more size, right? It's a group of people. You're in a hostile environment.
Mhm.
Like you got things that you can work with. But they put it as a push. Oh, he just pushed him. But this the question I have, right?
Mhm.
By hearing, when you hear that it was just a push, right?
Yeah.
Do you automatically assume that they were face to face before the push happened?
Typically, yes. When I hear like if I hear a story like, yeah, man, he pushed him, I'd be like, oh, okay, so they had to be bucking, they had to be arguing at each other. It had to be a face-to-face thing. That's the initial thing that I got. Yeah.
Multiple witnesses that were inside the trials are stating that they didn't ever stand. Karmelo never stood up, and no one else ever stood up. While they were supposed to be going back and forth with words, everybody was still sitting.
Gotcha.
So nobody was a real threat at that point.
Okay. So because that's coming up later in the conversation, but and in your opinion, when was the threat? Because that's like one of the biggest talking points that he feared for his life. When was the threat, in your opinion?
The threat was when it became physical.
Okay.
Now it's different variations of the physicality.
Mhm.
But once it became physical, now for me, if you in my, like I told you before last night, if you're in my arm reach, then you are a threat. Because that means that you are too close in my space and you can harm me.
Mhm.
So now that makes you a threat. You're not a threat from a distance. You're not a threat talking to me by sitting down.
Mhm.
You cannot harm me from that moment.
Yeah, but here's my counter to that, right? And this is something that I've been kind of pushing back on. I get the proximity when it comes to you can be a threat to me and within arm's reach. To me, this the way I feel it. If you within my purview, if you within my eye range and we got tension, you a threat. Because I don't know if you could throw something. I don't know if you got something on you could pull out and shoot me with or something like that. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, we're at a high school track meet.
I want to tell you, I agree with you. Depending on
we're
the
at a high school track meet.
I'm going at their surroundings with what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what they're saying in the video. You are 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
You are a threat at all times. I'm just talking about like a physical threat as far as, but if it's something in range, yeah, I'm eyeing you. Because like you said, you can pick something up and I'm 100% with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can hurl something and really do something.
But dig this though, you brought up something that I said last year, which a lot of people gave me pushback for, which was proportionality and equal force. You see what I'm saying? So
that's where go ahead.
Proportionally, Karmelo is indeed smaller than Austin Metcalf. I'm not bringing Hunter into this just yet because I know that's probably something we're gonna have to touch on later. But proportionally, size-wise, Karmelo is indeed smaller than Austin. I think the biggest problem is a lot of people are coming with the ideal of this FAFO, this mess around and find out, right? And that just because Austin put his hands on Karmelo, then Karmelo had the right to defend himself, which I've always been in the position no one has the right to put their hands on you, right? And if someone does put their hands on you, you got a right to defend yourself. But morally, we can talk about that all night, but legally, it's ways that you have to be able to do that so you can make sure you're on the right side of the law. Because if not, it's going to be consequences. You got yourself behind it. You see what I'm saying?
And that's why I stated what I stated earlier.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the law, right? That's when you can say, oh, I fear for my life. Why? Because a bigger person is on top of me, and at that point, they can seriously cause me bodily harm.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm my bad. I just do that. You feel me? Because people,
you're good.
People be doing that, right? So now you have that argument. But when they're saying that you are face to face and you're met with a push, then you can't just use a knife for a push. That's their argument, right? Now, I understand that. I'm not, and when I say that Austin lost his life because he put his hands on somebody, that's a fact. Whether you like it or not, he lost his life because he put his hands on someone. I'm just stating the fact.
Right. But the counter to that fact is, had it not been for Karmelo bringing that knife, and I know we don't need to go through the minutia of it's Texas and that's part of the culture and all this, that, and the other, because we understand the different cultures, especially in our culture, that it's typical for people to walk around with various weapons. I don't need to go into special kinds.
Okay, but that's just not our culture, though. Listen,
right.
That's not just our culture.
Well, I was just speaking about
we got a lot of 2A people, right?
2A people, yeah.
2A people, right?
Well, you got illegal 2A. You got illegal 2A people too now.
Yeah, I'm like I said, you got 2A people. You got different versions, right? What I'm saying is, you have people walking around with knives all the time. Right. I understand the logic of it is, why would you take a knife to attract me? We still don't know why he took the knife.
You will never know. Well, unless he slips up and stays in prison.
We still don't know why he took the knife. So that leaves everybody else up to their assumptions, right?
Correct.
So I'm not arguing none of that. But if we're going by law, it wasn't illegal.
Technically, see,
technically by law.
Technically, it was. Well, so wait. You talking about him having a knife?
Him taking a knife to the track meet.
No, him possessing the knife is not illegal. Him having the knife on school grounds is against school policy. It's legal. Hold on, it's still legal because school policy does not usurp state law, right? Okay, now, but this is my point that I want to make to you. Had he not had that knife, we would not have a dead Austin Metcalf. We wouldn't even be in court. We wouldn't even be talking. You see what I'm saying?
This is what I'm saying. Had he not had that knife, right? Austin Metcalf will still be here.
Okay, cool.
Austin Metcalf not tried to play Captain Saver and Big Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Austin Metcalf will still be here.
And had Karmelo not been in YN. Okay, go ahead.
You ain't let me finish. You feel what I'm saying? Because we got to get all these what ifs out. Because a what if is whatever you make it. Right? Because we're talking hypotheticals, right? So let's get it all out of there. If Karmelo never bring the knife, Austin Metcalf is here. If Austin Metcalf never put his hands on Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf is still here. If Karmelo Anthony never took that knife, Karmelo Anthony ain't in jail for 35 years. If Karmelo Anthony never used that knife, Karmelo Anthony ain't in jail for 35 years. So he could have took that knife and chose not to use that knife.
There you go.
You see, so we can do this all day.
Absolutely.
Just like Austin could have said, you know what? Let me go get a teacher, which they both could have did.
Absolutely.
Let me go get a teacher. Let me go get an adult. But they didn't. So let's talk about the facts. The facts of the matter is he brung a knife.
Yes.
Austin thought he was bluffing. He tried him. And it cost him his life. These are the facts, people.
Right.
That's
why I say you can't complain about the 35 years. You can't.
Listen, if
you can't complain about the 35 years.
That's what I'm saying. And you can't complain about Austin losing his life.
but you know what? I can accept Austin losing his life. I think that Carmelo should have got 99. That's just me personally.
Why?
Right? Because why? Because Austin is in the casket rotting, right?
Okay.
There's no, you can't speak to him, you can't mail him, you can go visit his grave, you can't visit him, right? The Anthony family, they can still go visit their son, they can still talk to their son, they can still write him and all this, that, and the other. His supporters can still do the same.
And I understand that. So basically, you're saying a life for a life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I completely understand that, right?
Yeah. I was of the position, because I had to do some research on it. Because Carmelo was too young, he wasn't eligible for the death penalty. But if he was old enough, if that was my kid, you better put him to death.
But see, this the thing though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is based on how heinous the crime is. See, people forget that punishment is based upon how heinous the crime is.
Absolutely.
This crime was see, everybody keep using that word murder. He's a murderer. So that makes it sound way worse than what it really was.
You have a dead body. How worse can it get?
I'm saying you have a dead body, right? You have a dead body, right? But that's not the same as somebody cutting up that dead body, somebody dismembering that dead body, somebody who just did the terriblest things to this person prior to unaliving them.
That's not what makes a murderer a murderer.
You're not. That's what determines the punishment. I'm not talking. It's different kinds and it's levels to everything.
Okay, so if let me ask your opinion. If I take someone's life and I just took their life, that's one thing. But if I take someone's life and I split up the body into 5 different pieces, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's ride with that, right? Now let's say I took someone's life by stabbing them in the chest, which I intended to cause serious bodily injury, which under the Texas penal. Hold on, wait, hold on. Let me finish. Wait, hold on. I didn't cut you. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Can I? My bad.
Yeah, let me finish. So I intended to cause serious bodily harm by stabbing them in the chest. I deferred to this knife that I'm not supposed to have, and I stabbed them in the chest. Even if I was just attempting to stop them, I was intending to do serious body harm so they can get up off me. And the result of my actions, which is that serious bodily injury, which resulted in death, Texas Penal Code 19 literally lays that out as murder. That's murder.
Oh. See, now, when you're going into intent, you automatically gave him the intent for the action. Stabbing someone is an action. That doesn't establish intent. A lot of people are confusing and conflicting the two. Stabbing someone is an action. Meaning that, so if I stab you in the stomach and you still pass away, my intent was to kill you?
No, your intent was to stop me.
You see how you just changed that quick though, right?
No, I'm not changing that quick. No. Originally I said your intent was to get the person up off you by stabbing them in the chest.
Yeah, no. You also said to cause serious bodily injury.
Absolutely. It's the same thing you stab them in the stomach.
But see, this is what I'm.
What are you saying?
How do I know in that moment? How do I know in that moment where I'm just trying to get you up off me? I'm not thinking that I even stabbed you. That I can be thinking like I didn't even stab you that hard. I can be thinking that I don't even. Matter of fact, a person don't even know where they stabbed you at.
Got you, but we're talking about the mindset. You defer
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're talking about the mind state. We're talking about the mind state of a 17-year-old boy who think that he is protecting himself from an attack. He doesn't even know where he stabbed him at. So this young man's brain is not, and we know 17-year-olds' brains are not fully developed. I'm
not accepting that.
This is why you're supposed to have an expert come up there. And this is why they run experts up there to tell you what type of mental state these children be in.
Got you, but here's my
in an environment that's going at that point.
Got you. But he deferred to the knife. That's his mindset. Like this is my opinion. This is my way of thinking. A verbal altercation breaks out because multiple people is asking him to move. He says, y'all not move. This is what was reported by the witness testimony to the jury. Mm-hmm. He says it was said that multiple people asked him to move. He responded saying that y'all not going to touch me, y'all not going to move me, whatever, right? And then when Austin comes up to confront him, he defers to the knife when it looks like it's about to get physical. My question to you is, if he didn't fear for his life until the moment he got touched, why grab the knife? You're not in fear. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. And this leads back to what they said happened in the video in court.
Mm-hmm.
In the video in court, they are all sitting down.
Absolutely.
They're all sitting down. Karmelo never leaves his seat.
Mm-hmm.
Never leaves his seat. They state that you just see Austin gets up, right? And witnesses attested to this in their
mm-hmm.
statements.
Mm-hmm.
That Austin stands up, and as soon as he stands up, he goes after Karmelo Anthony.
Okay.
While Karmelo Anthony is still sitting down, mind you. He's running up 2 to 3 to 5 bleachers. This
mm-hmm.
is through witness testimony. Even a witness said that he was moving with enough force to knock him out of the way.
Yeah, Eddie said that because he was sitting right next to Karmelo.
So when they say that it was a soft push or a light push, you tell me somebody that's moving with that kind of force, and you had someone say that
mm-hmm.
he did a lineman move.
Got you, but you lobbying.
Multiple witnesses state that he used 2 hands.
Yeah, but you lobbying over what I originally asked you. What I originally asked you was, there's no physical confrontation just yet, right?
No.
So there was no fear, but he had his hand in the bag before there was even any initial approach.
This is what I'm saying. They
Okay.
said that he put his hand in his bag after a physical threat was told to him.
And what was the physical threat? Because I've heard two different stories on this. I heard one is that there was a physical threat, or I'm gonna beat your ass. And then I heard another story where I'm not gonna fight you, bro. This is Frisco. You ain't got nothing.
This is why when you're dependent on witness testimony
mm-hmm.
of an event, because your video isn't that clear to show everything that's transpiring,
mm-hmm.
and you're using witness testimony, right?
Gotcha.
So you had someone say that he got threatened to beat his ass. You
mm-hmm.
also had a witness state that he put his hand on his shoulder to intimidate him first.
Mm-hmm.
So how could he put his hand on his shoulder to intimidate him first when he instantly got up within 5 seconds of him getting up? How is all this transpiring within 5 seconds of him hold on. As soon as he get up, he goes right at Karmelo. Soon as he get up, he goes right at Karmelo. You had a witness say that first he put his hands on his shoulder in an intimidating fashion to let him know actions speak louder than words.
But that's not answering my question. And I hear what you're saying, but my question is simply, from your opinion, where was the threat? Of where was the threat that was so great that you needed to defer to this knife that you're not supposed to have? Because the ass whooping is an ass whooping.
The threat is the ass whooping.
Okay, so he was that afraid. He was that afraid. In your opinion, he was that afraid of Austin that he needed to defer to this knife just in case this big motherfucker come at me.
Yeah,
there's intent. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now, hold on, wait. Let me finish laying this out. So there's. Oh wait, hold on. You got some money. You got some money right quick.
Let's go.
Shout out to Just Me with the $4.99. Greatly appreciate you. And make sure y'all supporting the content creators that you are watching. Is greatly appreciated. If y'all need the links for my support, because I'm not monetized at the moment, that's okay. But shout out to Just Me. Let me read this. Or do you want to read this? This is your money, man. Get your money, dog. That's yours.
This is absurd. Read the police report, please. That explains a version of the truth prior to any witness coaching.
Appreciate you for supporting the show. Make sure y'all continue to support the show. And also get the likes up. Get the likes up on both sides. All right. So really quick, because I said that's the intent by saying that Karmelo, in your opinion, a big motherfucker coming at you after you allegedly you said you're gonna whoop my ass. I'm deferring to the knife. I'm saying that's the intent. So go ahead.
Okay. So, mind you. All right. So, also what they said was the knife was never right side up. The knife was never right side up, meaning when he had the knife, he never held it like this, like in a stabbing motion, like most people will hold a knife when they going to poke somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, he didn't have the knife like that. When a knife went into Austin Metcalf, it was sideways. It was sideways in a defensive motion. Like it wasn't in a threatening motion, it was in a defensive motion. His hand was sideways, like underneath it. Right? And then when you say and you put it together, they're saying that he moved with so much force that he knocked someone over. And they said in the video, it was a jerking back and forth movement. So you had people saying that he might have lifted him up out of the seat. You had multiple witnesses say that he lifted him up out his seat. Multiple witnesses said this. I'm just going by it. And these were state witnesses. They seen that he was lifted out his seat, or he lifted him up in alignment, like a lineman do in a lineman drill. So if a person is running with that much force and I got a knife like this, it doesn't take that much force for that knife to penetrate.
So are you trying to say that the force of him going after Karmelo drove the knife into itself?
I'm saying that could be a possibility.
Oh, come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm basing listen.
If you basing it, wait, hold on. If you basing it, go ahead. Because if you basing it off of that, then you would have to dispute what everybody else is credited to the I say PDF file. Remember PDF file, that's the key word for the other word. But everybody is saying that the other dude, the big guy, Dwayne, they saying that he's a credible witness because he's seen a different video. Then you got a young lady, she's seen a different video.
See?
But this ideal that these people came up with, that Austin fell on the knife. You do recognize how
I'm not saying that he fell on the knife. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he fell on the knife. Karmelo Anthony is sitting down. Austin is coming charging.
Got you. So how does the knife, in your opinion, how does the knife end up in Austin?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
If I'm sitting down and I pull out the knife like this, you're running right into the knife. If you come charging at me at that angle, you're running right into the knife. Because guess what those witnesses said? It happened so fast.
Yeah, it was 5 seconds.
It happened so fast I didn't even see it.
Got you.
See this is what I'm saying, right? This is I'm going by what was I'm going by what was said in video evidence.
So in your opinion, by what you just broke down, technically, going by what you're saying, Karmelo didn't actually kill Austin. Austin killed Austin.
If that's what you want, but this is what I'm
saying. So then you're trying to say he's innocent.
I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying
if you go by the logic that you just broke down, that's self-defense.
What I'm saying is it is a possibility that was not disproven.
Got you.
That's what I'm saying.
Got you. But my main thing is that when we talk about intent, right? Let me really quick. You got some more money on the floor. Go ahead, read your money down. Go ahead. That's your money. That ain't my money.
Yeah, good looking. Protect your peace. Good looking. Protect your peace. Always showing up and showing out. Highly appreciated.
So Karmelo Anthony is coming home. All right. So by your own opinion, you're saying that Karmelo shouldn't even be in prison because technically,
no, I'm not saying that.
So what are you saying? Because you're making it sound like self-defense, or rather, you're making it sound like Austin is the reason that he ended up on that knife. I'm just trying to get a clear understanding.
See what you're doing is you are gearing you're putting words in my mouth and saying that that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you that it was a possibility that could happen. Okay. I'm not saying that is what happened.
Okay.
I'm saying that could be a possibility. And you're supposed to prove your case without a possibility, right?
Mm-hmm. I
That's
can
what I'm
prove
saying.
I can prove my argument without a possibility, but that would be me casting judgment on them, right?
I'm like I was.
So here's, and I don't mind doing it because I
I'm telling
don't
you
mind
things
being
that
a.
I'm
Yeah, I
telling
got
you
you.
things that will give me pause
Uh-huh.
for. Hold on, they didn't really explain that. They didn't really go into detail about that. So when you're talking about intent,
You talking about the
right?
prosecution, right?
Huh? Yeah, I'm talking about the prosecution. Like you have to prove your case. You have to prove your case without a reason of doubt.
No, they have to
That's the
they have
version.
to disprove the
No, they
self-defense
no
case.
no 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 no.
Okay, so we can
Go look
actually.
it up. The
Well, I'm look.
prosecutor have to
Yeah,
prove their case
right. And
without a reason
what did
of
the
doubt.
prosecutor prove by asking one simple question to all the witnesses? Who was the aggressor in this situation? Who was
Yeah,
the aggressor?
which they wasn't supposed to ask or answer.
But they asked and they answered
And
because the judge did not stop it, right?
and
There was no
like
objection from the defense, right?
I'm not arguing that. I'm not here
Okay.
to argue that.
So the
Right?
jury of 12, they consumed
And
this witness testimony.
and what you just said,
Mhm.
right? What you just said had nothing to do with the intent.
Absolutely, it did.
No,
If
it
he's
didn't.
if he's the aggressor and he deferred to the knife,
No, it's not.
there's
That
your
he
intent
deferred
right
to the
there.
knife. It doesn't. This is what I'm saying, right? See, people get stuff confused once again.
Okay.
Him being the aggressor has nothing to do with his intent, right? Because this is what I'm saying, right? And I get why you're saying that.
Mhm.
It goes towards intent. Hunter is the reason that Austin is unalive. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that if
Nah,
Hunter would
you
have
can't.
minded his business.
You can't say
Hunter would
that
have
Hunter
minded
is
his
the
business.
reason.
If Hunter would have minded his business, if
That,
Hunter wouldn't have minded his
but
business.
then okay, so then explain the 15 other people that didn't mind their business, right? Because
This is what I'm
those
saying.
people was even asking him to move. So you
This
can't say Hunter is
this
the
is
reason.
this is what I'm saying, right?
What?
Hunter was the first to say something. Karmelo was sitting there. Karmelo was sitting there for a whole 4 minutes. Nobody said nothing. Karmelo was sitting there for a whole 4 minutes.
So you dismissing all of the witness testimony where everybody was asking.
I'm not. This is the witness testimony. What
Okay.
do you? I'm going based off of witness testimony. How am I dismissing it? I'm
No,
just
so
putting all
he
of
was
it
sitting
into
there for
context.
4 minutes.
He was
talking
sitting
to
there
Eddie
for 4 minutes, and nobody said nothing until Hunter decided he didn't like something.
That's not true. That's not true.
How is that?
That's not true. None of the witness testimony stated that. None
Hunter
of the witness
said that out his own mouth.
Hold on, wait. No.
A witness did say that.
That Hunter said something first before 15 other people asked him?
Who was the first? Who was the first? Yes, a witness said that. Who was the first to say something to Karmelo Anthony?
So this is where bias comes in, because you're saying 1 out of 17 to 20 witnesses. So you're going to go with the one.
This is what I'm saying. See, you're saying 1 out of 17 to 21.
But you said 1.
I don't. Like I said, that is what the reports came out. I don't have the transcripts.
Gotcha.
I'm going. This is what I'm saying. Until the transcripts come out, I can only go based off of what I got.
Right, but this is all right. So this, I think we're gonna come to an impasse. You're willing to accept one person say Hunter said something first, but what about the other 16 to 17 people that said he didn't say something first?
Because the reason why is because it goes right with Hunter's story that he put on the news, that he was the first to say something.
So out of the 16 to 17 other people, they're lying in your eyes.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, now. Just because I said
this,
now
I'm just asking.
They're lying.
Asking.
Listen, okay. I know you're asking, but just because I'm saying that this is what they said doesn't mean that I'm saying that they're lying. Two things can be true.
Two things can be true, but you got to talk about when you're talking about logic, right? We got to get rid of the common middle. It's either a yes or a no, not a maybe, right?
Okay, so Austin was lying. So Austin lying. I mean, Hunter lying. Hunter lying then. And the
Hunter lying about what? Hunter lying about what? In the original statement that he gave?
Him being the one to say something to him first.
He gave two statements. It was one, it was back to back. And in
Him
one
being
statement,
the one,
he said that he said something to him first, and in another statement, he said we said something to him. Now I don't understand why the defense didn't call Hunter Metcalf to the stand, which I believe they
because
should have did.
if you're on the prosecutor's witness list and you're expected to testify, the defense then has to send a subpoena. They was rushing this trial.
Yeah, which he did get subpoenaed.
He got subpoenaed. They didn't get him to the subpoena. That's what I'm saying. When they rushing this trial, they thought that before the prosecution entered the case early, which threw them off because they were supposed to have 30-some witnesses. This is why it's a lot of stuff and scrutiny, and why a lot of stuff is getting spreaded.
Yeah, because and that's why I say
they're supposed to have 35 witnesses.
Yeah, but that's smoke and mirrors. Respectfully, that's smoke and mirrors, because the main thing is that we're not putting Hunter on trial, and we're not putting Austin on trial.
Ask me a question.
I asked you a question.
Ain't even let me. And I'm answering your question.
Okay, go ahead. Finish your question.
And I'm answering your question, right? He was on the prosecutor's witness list. They were expecting him to testify. They were going to go at him in cross-examination. On that, he didn't testify. Now they have to resend a subpoena to get him on the stand. So that means that they got to go file the subpoena, issue the subpoena for him to get on the stand. And he's not going to get on the stand for the defense against his brother.
Against his brother. His brother's not on. Austin's not on trial.
But that's not how it's perceived.
What do you mean? His brother's dead.
His brother's dead, and you think he's going to take the stand in the behalf of the defense?
Why Austin is not on trial? Karmelo was on trial. Why do we need to talk to Hunter in that aspect? This is what confuses me, right?
Okay.
I didn't want to put you in this box, but I'm gonna ask. No, I'm not gonna ask. Let me leave that out.
No, go ahead.
Would you say that you're a supporter of Karmelo?
A supporter of Karmelo?
Yeah.
In what way?
In a way that you want to see him get less time, or you want to see him acquitted?
Acquitted? He's not getting acquitted. Okay. I am a proponent of the law.
Okay. So
I'm a proponent of the law. And in my aspect of it, it was not murder. It was manslaughter. Or you could have said reckless homicide. But manslaughter, okay. But it was not murder. That's my stance.
Okay. So, but here's the thing, right? And this is why I don't understand and I'm glad that you said that you're a proponent of the law. I don't see the need to put the dead on trial. Or I don't see the need to bring up the dead's past. I don't see the need to bring in the dead's family. Because the person that's on trial is the person that's sitting in the defendant's seat, right? So when it came down to this case, one thing that I did like that the defense did was they didn't make it about shit that was unnecessary. One thing I didn't like that they didn't do is that they didn't make it important enough to defend Karmelo, or at least would a reasonable person do what Karmelo did. Now, that was my next question to you. Do you think a reasonable person, when I say reasonable person, I'm just talking about the average person, in your opinion, would the average person do what Karmelo did to Austin?
The average person as far as what? Because I know a lot of people that would have did what he did.
Right. A reasonable person is just an average person, just regular everyday 17-year-old. Hold on, let me make sure I put that in there. Would the average regular everyday 17-year-old do what Karmelo did to Austin?
Yeah.
You think that? Okay. So
yeah,
here's the problem.
If they have a weapon on them, and they fear losing something. Yeah.
So now we get into a deeper part of the conversation. So now that's proven that we have a problem with our youth, that our youth think that they need to use a weapon in a fist fight. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. That's something that needs to be tackled. Outside of this case, that's something that needs to be tackled and discussed. Because when it comes down to it, no 17-year-old should think, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to take your life. I'm going to use a weapon, no matter if you're bigger than me, because just a person's size does not equate to you using deadly or lethal force on them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
and we need to address the fact that just because you bigger than somebody
Mm-hmm.
and you think you can hurt somebody, that doesn't make it right for you to try to go and put your hands on them.
So you think Austin was trying to hurt Karmelo?
Yeah.
Based
They
on
said-
what?
Based on witness testimony that said not only was Hunter getting agitated, so was Austin. So that
But
means
agitation doesn't mean I'm going to kill you.
I didn't see. There you go. You put words in my mouth.
I'm
You
just
said harm.
okay.
You said hurt
Harm. Okay.
and harm, right? Didn't you say that?
Yeah.
Didn't you say hurt or harm? You said one of those two, I believe.
Hurt.
Okay. So, an angry teenager in his feelings? Yes.
So I'm glad that you said that. Thanks for falling into that. So an angry teenager in his feelings. Prior to him even engaging with Austin, he was engaging with people per witness testimony that he was calling people B words, he was calling people P words, and all that. He was already agitated. So it seems to me like it seems to me like the angry individual, Karmelo, who by per witness testimony was the aggressor, he was already on 10. And then when Austin stepped in.
So the thing about it is this.
Mm-hmm.
I have logic and you got logic.
Absolutely.
Because he wasn't the only one giving explicits. Austin was giving explicits too, per witness.
Austin hasn't entered the picture yet. Remember, I said this is
Austin
the people.
did. Austin, see, that's what I'm saying. That's where the dialogue. See,
the dialogue breaks down because Karmelo entered the tent. Karmelo entered the tent, and then Karmelo entered the tent, and then Austin and Hunter enter after him, right?
No.
So you saying that they arrived at the same time?
No.
When? Okay, so if Karmelo was already there, when did Austin and Hunter get there?
Per witnesses who watched the video in court, because that's the video they have, whether we like it or not. That's the video they have. Austin and Hunter was already sitting at the bottom of the tent before Karmelo Anthony arrived. Karmelo Anthony.
Okay. I'm listening. I ain't saying nothing, brother. I'm letting you do your thing.
Karmelo Anthony allegedly arrived 2 minutes after. He spoke with Eddie and sat right next to Eddie. And prior to them getting into it, right? Because they only seem to know what Karmelo Anthony said. They don't seem to actually know what Austin and Hunter said, but they know what Karmelo said, right? Karmelo says, your team is trash. No dialogue. He just came out of nowhere, out of left field, and said, your team is trash. My thing is, where is the dialogue? There was no dialogue. None of these teams can put together a dialogue or frame of when words were said or how words were said. They just say what was said. So a lot of them was leaving out or retracting what Austin said.
Hold on, y'all. In a minute, we're going to read the super chats. I just want to give a little more dialogue before we read the super chats. Go ahead. Finish your saying.
So, like I said, y'all can go back and read JD Walsh or something like that. That's the transcripts I was reading. Or you can go to my page. I don't just say stuff just to say stuff. I don't need that. Right? You can go to my page. I done ran the content on it plenty of times where I showed you where I got the transcripts and what I got was said.
From JD Miles.
Yeah, from JD Miles.
Right.
That was the one that was in there reporting, and that's where I got most of the stuff from.
Did you see the video from Brother Mel from Watching World 777?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear his recount of the video?
Yeah.
Okay, his recount where the video was, it was like 940 something.
It was 950. It was 954.
Okay, and he said that Karmelo came in through the right.
Karmelo
and then he said a few minutes later. He said a few minutes later.
No, Karmelo came in 2 minutes later. Karmelo was the 2 minutes later.
So Hunter and Austin came up first, and then Karmelo came up second.
And Karmelo came up second.
I've never heard that. I had to go back and watch it because I don't believe that's what he said.
I just did a live. And in fact, I'm going to have Brother Mel on my show tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Brother Mel is coming on the show.
Bet. I'm gonna need to be there to watch it.
5 p.m. Pacific time.
I'm gonna need to watch it because from my understanding, from everything that I've heard so far, is that Karmelo was there prior to the boys getting there. Now I can even give you that if that's what he said, then that's what he said. Cool.
I'm going by what Brother Mel said. Neek at Night said it as well. The prosecutor said it in his opening arguments that's what you're going to see in the video.
Mm-hmm.
All of that, right? So what happened was not instantly. Karmelo came, Karmelo sat down. Once Karmelo sat down, it was within 5 minutes or 4 to 5 minutes, they said. So they saying Karmelo sat down around 9:56. They saying that the incident took place at 10 o'clock. At 10 a.m., the incident took place. By 10:05, Karmelo was hightailing it out of there.
Okay.
That is what they say happened in court. Like I said, okay. I'm not one, I don't like, come on. But hey, everybody gonna believe what they want to believe. So
yeah,
back to
go ahead.
If you want to go check JD Miles out, go check him out. That's where I got it from.
I'll check him out. But, so now that we got the positioning, my thing is there was still other people who said something to Karmelo prior to him deferring to that knife. And when he deferred, hold on, let me finish. When he deferred to that knife, his intent was to whatever touches me, they're gonna get this work. And because Austin was the one that was confronting him, he already had his eyes dead set on this big ass boy. Mind you, I didn't put race into that. On this big ass boy that if he put his hands on me, he's going to do what he got to do to get out of there, and he has to answer for that. Period.
I never said he didn't.
No, I'm not saying that you did. No, I'm not saying that you didn't say that. I'm just saying that's my belief on it.
That's my belief too. Why? Because by law, you're not allowed to use a knife in that situation.
Absolutely.
I'm not arguing that with nobody. But there is a clear difference between murder and manslaughter. If it wasn't, then all killings will be labeled as what? Murder.
That's not true. So there's qualifications that you have to meet to get manslaughter, and there's qualifications that you have to meet to get murder. In which the jury was given instructions on. And in those instructions, if you cannot find him within these qualifications, then you can't drop down. If you can find him within these qualifications, then you go back up.
And that's the point that I'm making.
Right.
That's the point that I'm making. So
right, because I want to move on to the next point right quick. So the thing is, whatever it is that that jury of 12, whatever decision that they came to, based off everything that was surmised to them throughout the entirety of this trial, they came to the decision that it was murder. And I think that Karmelo got off light with 35 because he could have got 50. Yes, prerequisites. Sorry. He could have got 50. He could have got 60. He could have got 99. And then he can get out in 17 and a half. So give me a second. Let me do these super chats before we go move on to the next point. Right here. Just me with $2 says, please get a transcript or proxy and use citations. I'm waiting on that damn the official transcript to come out. Protector Piece of $5 says, nobody has the right to tell anyone to move. Collin County taxpayers pays for the equipment. That's the truth. But if no one has the right to tell anyone to move, who gave Karmelo the right to come under the tent?
He wasn't fully under the tent.
Who gave Karmelo the right to approach?
His friend.
So if his friend gave him the right to approach, only his friend could tell him to leave.
And it wasn't written in black and white that he couldn't.
So his friend, okay, cool. So if his friend who's I'm assuming 17 at the time, right? If his friend can give him the right to tell him to come over, why can't anyone else give him the right to tell him to leave?
By law.
By
law.
You
can't. That's where the law come in.
So then this falls on Eddie. Then Eddie shouldn't have never told him to come over.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
Lawrence for $5 says maybe kids should stop bullying kids. Mind their business. There was no knife. Also, many witnesses was rehearsed.
It was a knife. I'm going by what they said. They said it was a knife. I'm not. Listen, I'm not one. Listen, I'm not. They said it was a knife. They presented whatever it's supposed to be. Like I don't.
It's a knife.
Now, if you want to call it a multi-tool, it's a multi-tool as well. Two things.
But it has a blade on it.
It's a multi-tool with a blade.
Facts.
So, if you want to call it a knife, you can call it a knife. You want to call it a multi-tool, you can call it a multi-tool.
Mm-hmm.
However you want to address it, it was a weapon. And anything can be determined a lethal weapon, even a brick, even a rock, even anything that you use as a weapon to strike someone and they lose their life can be determined a lethal weapon.
Just me with $4.99 says make this man back up his claim by citing the testimony. I'm not going to watch unproductive discussions. We need to deal with facts, not claims. Which one do you want me to back up? Because I can pull up the JD Miles Twitter page where all of this is laid out. I can pull that up. I could even pull up the CNN News live feed where all of this was laid out too. Which one do you want me to back up?
I don't know. I don't know who that was directed to.
But yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
I don't know who it was directed to, but like I said, that's where I got mine from. But also, I understand that they did not write word for word. They summarized a lot of the stuff. That is why you keep hearing me say, I need the transcripts. I need to read word for word. Everything else was a summary, and they told us what they felt was important. They probably left out all the other stuff.
So, really quick, because I want to move on to the next point. You says every claim. I can provide you with the link, and you can go read it for yourself, man. I don't know if I think this will show up in your chat. It should, but there it is. So, if you have the ability to be able to see, like I just posted the link, it should show up in your chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not even watching my chat.
Yeah, we're not here to relitigate the case. All right, so I want to ask you this question. So do you think that the jury got it wrong by giving them 35 years, or just got it wrong by finding them guilty of murder?
I think he got off with 35 years and possibility for murder. In the situation and how this was a high profile case. Yeah, I said it on my live stream when I did it. Like 35 years and you get action at 17 and a half. Yeah, I thought they was gonna throw the book at him where they was at. I thought they was gonna throw the book at him. Gotcha. But I mean, some can say, because like I said, I'm not in that position.
I think he deserved the whole book.
Hey, they tell me 35 years right now, and I'm dropping. I'm dropping to the floor. I'm thinking I ain't gonna make a day.
Oh Lord,
35 years. I'm like, good Lord. You feel me? Take me down. I don't what? Man, listen, man. I ain't bruh. You feel me? Like I ain't like I said, I'm not, 35 years to some people is not the same 35 years to others. So while I can sit here and say, oh, he got off or he got lucky, but to him, nigga, that ain't luck. That ain't getting off. Like, bro, 35 years is gone, possibly. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy to say that when you in your chair in the front of a camera and a microphone, you can say all kind of things. But when somebody actually going through it, it means something different. It hit differently. Absolutely. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people is missing out on, because we have to remember we're thinking with adult brains, right? We're not thinking with a 17-year-old brain in 2026, right? Back in our youth, times was different. So we had a whole entire cavalcade of thoughts and challenges that we was facing back then. So I don't usually take people's opinions on what they would do in this situation, because we're grown now. Our brains think differently. I did want to get to this question though, right? So
and I don't, because we're not talking about the trial anymore. We're just talking about the case as a whole. So we're not talking about anything that happened in court. Both young men were described by their families as good students with college dreams, right? Do you think, or how does that human element for you hit with this case?
There was no human element. They demonized this boy from day one.
Both boys or one boy?
Oh, it was both.
Okay.
It was both. But it was in response. See what
So
I'm
everything
saying?
was
Like,
a response.
it was in response. You gotta like, when it started, they went to the news instantly. They went to the news instantly, and the mainstream news got a hold of it because of the atmosphere that we was in 2025.
Yeah.
With the whole racial situations, and then this came up. Because you got to think about it. We had the Rodney Hinton situation that was on fire. We had the girl who got poked on the bus that was on fire, or the train. And then this situation, all of that happening at once. It's a lot of turmoil boiling. And they painted this young boy as an animal. They dehumanized him from go, and they still dehumanizing him.
You saying young boy? You talking about Karmelo, or you talking about both?
I'm talking about Karmelo. And then that's when they start going after Austin. They start going after Austin. They start saying, we're not going to allow you to demonize this young boy. And we hearing all of this going on over here. And both sides spreaded a lot of propaganda.
So I need to further elaborate. So you saying dehumanize or demonize Karmelo? He's a murderer. Convicted murderer now. Well, he's a convicted murderer now, right?
So, but that's what I'm saying. You see how quick you went to dehumanizing Karmelo?
No, I say he's a murderer. He's a murderer now.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. He was guilty from the start. But in the court of law, you're supposed to be what? Presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Well, that's because of society. Would you agree?
I said, but like I said, you can't then cry when the shoe was on the other foot. You can't then cry when the shoe was on the other foot.
I'm gonna ask you a dangerous question. If you want to answer, you can. Do you think that's because of his race?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask the opposite. Do you think that people was pretty much overshadowing or dehumanizing Austin because he was white?
Yes.
Okay, so societal roles. I'm not saying that you are saying this, because just in case for those of you that's watching on his side, y'all don't know me, but I don't mind telling a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I'm a veteran. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And my usual opinion on everybody is I hate everybody equally on the individual basis. I don't like nobody. But typically what I see within human behavior is that we typically already, and I agree with you, we dehumanize people regardless of their whether they're alive or dead. I think just in this case, because of what Dominique Alexander did, and I can't stand him at all. With every fiber of my being, I wish that man would just go to sleep somewhere. He turned it into a racial element, and I didn't really appreciate it. You don't think so?
No. You want to know what happened?
Why so?
The media before he came out the white media turned it into a racial issue first.
Black media did that.
Okay.
No, I can go back and forth with you on it, but I'm just saying
this what I'm see this what I'm right. Legacy white media, Fox News and them, you know, the big ones. I ain't talking about the little peons. I ain't talking about the little peons. I'm talking about the big ones. Jumped on this story instantly. They jumped on this story instantly. And when they jumped on this story, right? They wasn't saying alleged. They put emphasis on Austin doing the right thing. And Austin being a hero, and Karmelo being this little black boy who's a murderer, who stabbed a boy in the heart for no reason, They got to painting a very stereotypical narrative. And a lot of people want to act naive and act like that wasn't what they were doing. But
that's because they had the police report, brother.
This is, like I said, you have a police report that is a summary, that is not a full tale of what took place.
But we have a confession.
Brother,
we have a confession though.
But brother, we have a confession of self-defense.
No, we have a confession that I'm not alleged I did it. That's not self-defense.
I defended myself.
Did
he know that he passed at that moment?
No, of course he didn't. When the first resource officer ran up on him.
Let me
go ahead.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
In
that moment when he said that, did he know that he lost his life?
No, of course he didn't know.
Okay. Right.
But when the resource officer ran up to him, he said, I have the alleged suspect. He says, I'm not alleged. I did it.
Okay.
I told him not to put his hands on me.
Exactly. So in his mind, he's thinking that he defended himself and he defended himself properly.
So then why ask is it self-defense? Why ask is he okay? I'm not worried. If I'm claiming self-defense, I don't care what the other person is. I'm okay.
This one I'm okay. So if he intended to kill him, like everybody said, then why ask if he okay? If his intent was to kill him and he was this monstrous person, why even ask is he okay?
I can understand that point, but my thing is this: why bring the knife if you wanted to make sure that he was okay?
See, hold on.
You should have just fought him. You can't use lethal force and expect someone not to live.
This is what happens, right?
What happens?
Right? It's the jumping.
What jumping?
You just jumped. Yeah, but why bring a knife? You see how you got to jump to something else because now that's disproven, right?
What's disproven?
Remember you said that he was admitting that he killed him. Right? That was him asking or saying that he did it. You said that he was admitting to the killing.
Yes, that's a confession.
Okay, that's a confession. How can he confess to something that he don't know he did?
So why confess?
How could he confess to something he don't know?
Easy. He opened his mouth when he said, I have the alleged suspect. He didn't say I have the alleged suspect of a stabbing. He didn't say I had alleged suspect of a murder. He said I have the alleged suspect.
I have the alleged suspect.
Okay. That's all he said. And what was Karmelo? What was Karmelo's response?
So it's a general thing, right? It's
okay.
A general thing, right? It's not a specific thing.
Okay, but then why respond saying I'm alleged I did it?
Hold on. I have the alleged suspect. It's general, right? Is it direct? Is it direct or is it a general statement?
If I run up on you and I'm a police officer and you're the only person, there's no one else around. It's him.
Answer the question.
It's direct.
How is it direct?
Because I have you. If you're my suspect, I have the alleged suspect.
It's direct to the murder. That's what I'm asking you.
No, it's direct to the person. It's direct to the person.
It's okay. It's direct to the person for multiple things, right? It could be multiple things, right?
Okay. And what did Karmelo say?
Okay. I'm not alleged. I did it.
Okay. So then what are we talking about?
So this is what we're talking about. Because you're saying that is him confessing to murder.
Absolutely.
How?
Because no one, if I'm innocent, I'm not seeing shit. I'm just being honest with you. If a police officer run up on you right now and say, I have the alleged suspect, you're gonna be like, who the fuck you talking to? I'm talking to you, young man. Nah, hell no, you ain't talking to me. I need your ID, sir. Nah, you ain't getting nothing from me till you tell me some more, right?
So you're saying that he confessed to a murder that he don't even know that he committed.
Then he should have kept his mouth shut. He should have kept his mouth shut.
He should. I'm not arguing that.
Okay, so when he opened his mouth,
he should have kept his mouth closed. He shouldn't have said nothing at all.
Got you. So when he opened his mouth, he admitted to it.
My thing is this: that doesn't mean that he admitted to murder. You're still not explaining how he admitted to murder, like as if because when you're saying a confession, a confession is that you already know what you're confessing to.
Absolutely.
You already know what did.
Absolutely.
Right?
So then why say I'm not alleged?
You're saying that he confessed to murder.
Yes.
But you are not proving how he knew that he committed murder.
He admitted to whatever it is that school resource officer was pleading to him with, which was, I have the alleged suspect. I'm not alleged. I did it.
But the school resource manager at the time didn't even know that Austin Metcalf was dead.
There you go. Now I'm so glad that you brought that up.
Hold on.
He's willfully giving information, and the school resource officer haven't even asked him no questions. He confessed to killing someone.
See how you quick you just going to how he did.
I'm not being quick. That's what it is.
Did he say I did it? I killed him?
No, he said I'm not alleged. I did it. I told him not to put his hands on me.
Did he say I killed him?
No, he said I don't know how many times I got to answer. I don't know how many times I got to answer this. He said I'm not alleged. I did it, and I told him not to put his hands on me. Because whatever it is that happened over there, if you didn't have nothing to do with it, you don't confess to shit. Right? Now I appreciate the boy being honest, but if you're gonna be honest, if you're gonna tell on yourself and you're gonna do your actions, then guess what? You're gonna do the time, big homie. I think the biggest I think the biggest problem is that people think that a lot of people think that there's too much harsh criticizement of Karmelo. Would you agree or disagree?
You say what happened?
That people are being too harsh on Karmelo.
That they're being too harsh on him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wouldn't say that people's being too harsh. I would think that his parents would prepare him for the world to understand that no one has to treat you fairly, no one has to treat you with respect, especially when it comes to the police being a we are who we are. I don't talk to police. I think that there was some type of privilege within
not the household. That's not the household he grew up in.
I know that's not the household.
They thought that they wouldn't have to live through any of this type of situation.
No, they only thought that because they moved to Frisco.
Exactly.
They didn't think of that when it was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Exactly.
Right. So they thought that they was going to be over there and they was going to be everything was going to be peachy keen, which is great, but that speaks more to the mindset. If you're going over to this predominantly white neighborhood in Frisco, Collin County, Texas, and you think everything gonna be peachy keen, why the hell do you have a knife and why did you defer to the knife?
Like I said,
so I don't think people's being harsh on him. I just don't think that people are existing in reality to understand the fact that when it comes down to it, he himself put himself in this situation and he's going to get open criticizement however it is that he goes. You don't get to choose how people criticize you.
Okay. Question. Do you think people are being too harsh on Austin Metcalf?
He's dead. You can't be harsh on him. What do you mean?
Why can't you?
He's dead.
Why can't you?
He's dead.
Because he's dead. So everybody that's died. So everybody that's died, that's the victim. You can't be harsh on them.
He's the victim. He's dead.
Okay. So I'm asking you this question for a reason, right?
I know, no problem.
Okay. I'm asking you this question for a reason. Because whether we are the victims or the assailant, we're still held to a certain responsibility for our actions. So
you think that Austin Metcalf is rightfully, justifiably being held responsible for his actions of touching him?
No, they're not, because they're downplaying it. They're downplaying his actions.
Why do you need to put Austin on trial? He's not the person that took someone's life. That doesn't make sense.
Why? So somebody else coming up don't make the same mistake that he made, thinking it's okay to just put your hands on people.
And somebody coming up behind Karmelo thinking that it's okay to stab someone just because they put their hands on you.
He went to jail. And that's why I said he was going to jail.
That's backwards. That's backwards logic, brother.
It ain't backwards.
That is backwards. I'm gonna tell you why.
No, because you're conflicting what my logic is, and you're about to try to tell me what my logic is.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. You're interpreting my logic, so you're going to tell me your interpretation of my logic. My logic.
So tell me your logic.
My logic is very simple, cut and dry. Keep your hands to yourself.
I agree.
Because You don't know what that next person is going through in life. There is always a possibility that you can lose your life.
I agree with that.
By putting your hands on someone. And if you are not ready for that, because you don't get to determine how somebody is going to respond. That is the problem that a lot of people have. I know it's laws put in place. There's laws put in place for these type of things. But don't laws get broken all the time? Don't rules get broken all the time?
Absolutely. That's why we have a system. And although it's imperfect, it's a system that we got.
So my logic is simple. And my logic is simple for the other side as well. If you got a tool and you're going to use that tool, and you are not properly informed on the laws, then you're going to have to stand trial and accept whatever comes your way.
Right. And that's not being harsh on him. That's not.
I'm not talking about that part. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about the dehumanizing of him.
He dehumanized himself by becoming a murderer. Okay. He was a good kid, had a great grade point average, and all this, that, and the other. And guess what? So did Austin Metcalf.
When you
both of them was captains.
When you label, this is what I'm saying. Like when you label, because nobody is running around. Nobody in the defense of Zimmerman is calling him a murderer.
Actually, a lot of people. Well, you said nobody in defense. Okay,
I'm talking about nobody in defense of what Zimmerman did is running around calling him a murderer,
because he's not a murderer. He was defending his life.
See, this is he killed somebody, right?
Absolutely, he killed somebody.
He killed somebody,
right? But wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm understanding what you're asking. Are you asking legally or are you asking morally?
Both.
Morally, he killed somebody, so he's a killer. Legally, he defended his life. Morally, Karmelo Anthony defended his life, and he's a murderer. Legally, sorry, I meant to say that. Morally, he defended his life. Legally, he's a murderer.
So
it's just that simple.
People are going off the. That's what people are going to pick and choose which side they're going to go off of.
Got you. So with that,
it goes the same for Zimmerman. It goes the same. Go ahead.
But by that logic, Chud the Builder should be free.
By what logic?
This is my question. So if someone runs up on you and aggresses you and they touch you, you have a right to defend. Not right, but there's no telling how you're going to defend yourself, right?
There's no telling how you're going to defend yourself, but it's laws for that, right? This is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
It's laws for that.
Absolutely. I don't disagree.
So I'm holding Buddy accountable for running up on him.
Okay, cool.
I hold him accountable.
You talking about Chud or you talking about Karmelo?
About Buddy that ran up on Chud, right?
Okay.
He ran up on Chud. Right? He ran up on Chud and put his hands on Chud first. But that's not what's coming out right now. Because the police officers say that on camera, Chud fired the weapon first.
Huh? Where you see that?
Chud was just in trial today.
The police officer said. Did you see the video?
Huh? Yeah.
Did you see the video?
No, they got another video from the courthouse. They got a longer video than what was put out there.
No, I'm talking about the video from Pump Fund. You seen that, the live stream?
What was that? I don't know.
Pump Fund. That's the name of the website.
I'm going by what was said in court by a police officer under oath.
God damn it, bro. This is what's irritates me, right? You'll accept the benefit as long as it's a benefit to a person or a benefit to a point. But when it comes down to it, even in this case with Karmelo, right? And I'm not saying you're doing this intentionally. I'm just attacking the point. I'm not attacking you, right?
No, go ahead.
When it comes to arguing to a point, instead of just looking at the facts of the matter is, can we agree that Austin approached Karmelo?
Yeah.
Can we agree that the guy approached Chud?
That's what I'm saying.
Can we agree to that?
Chud, because I don't know the whole facts of that case.
Chud walked up to this group of people. He was saying something to them. They said, "We know who the fuck you is." And as he was walking away, him first,
right?
Judge approached them, and he's saying something to him. They say they didn't want to talk to him. He's walking away. Guy runs up on him, swings on him. Judge shoots him.
Guy runs up on him. He swings on him. He shoots him, right?
Yes.
Okay. What else? That's it?
So Chud gets hit, and he shoots.
Chud get hit, and he shoots.
Yes.
Okay. So but this is what I'm saying, because I'm getting conflicting things.
But you better not say Chud was a provocateur. You better not, because if you say Chud was a provocateur, I'm gonna have to get you.
Which he was.
So Karmelo was a provocateur. So you can't argue self-defense. I love your logic, brother.
Look, see, you're jumping. Okay.
I'm not jumping. I'm not jumping.
I'm gonna let you.
I'm not jumping. I'm not jumping.
I'm gonna let you get it off right now. So
Mm-hmm.
you do what you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what I'm saying. Chud is a provocateur based on his videos. You didn't even let me finish. You just was ready to say, "Ha, I got you."
Ahead.
Based on his video, I already told you. I just got a snippet of what happened with Chud. I go by the court and the laws, right? Because that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw the video of Chud fighting with dude, and you heard gunshots. I don't know when the gunshots happened, how the gunshots happened. Dude ran up on Chud, which I find hilarious, because I've been saying, you keep going after people, somebody is bound to be willing to break the law. But I also said in my video, you better be willing to take what comes along with it. If you're willing to do that, then you better be prepared what comes along with it.
Would you say that Chud can argue self-defense in that case?
That's what he's arguing.
In your opinion, would you say that Chud can argue self-defense?
Can he argue self-defense based on how you're explaining it? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're going to move on to the next question. So, Karmelo did not testify, which is to being stupid, but Karmelo didn't testify. Do you think that hurt his self-defense claim, and would hearing directly from him have changed the outcome in your mind?
Nope. It wouldn't have changed nothing. Their mind was already made up.
No, I'm saying your mind, not in their mind.
My
in your
mind,
mind.
it wouldn't have made no difference. Their mind was already made up.
Mm-hmm.
What's in my mind does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
What's in my mind does not matter. Their mind was already made up. That's who mind that matters. That's what I keep saying. These are my opinions. The jury is who matter. If
Absolutely.
their mind is already made up, and anybody mind that was already made up about Karmelo Anthony's guilt, Karmelo Anthony getting on that stand was not going to change their mind.
I disagree.
Okay.
So I'll tell you why I disagree. Because we haven't heard from Karmelo in a year, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't even hear from him. The last time we heard from Karmelo was the statements that he made in the police report, what that was reported in the police report. I think Karmelo getting on that stand and being as human as possible, having the emotional reaction, and even so far as letting the prosecution bully him a little bit. I think if he would have been on that, I'm telling you, from my perspective, if I'm Karmelo, I'm getting on that stand, I'm crying, I'm bubble nose, snot nose, crying, I'm looking at the family, I'm being remorseful, all of that. I think that would have helped this case. I don't think the jury had it made up in their mind, because if you're saying the jury had it made up in their mind, then you would be pretty much saying that he lost from the start. I don't think that's how that works.
He lost from the start. The jury already had their mind made up.
You can't say that, because then you would have to disclude everything that the jury heard.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, so based on what you're saying is right.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have got up there and was remorseful and did this and did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could have swayed their judgment.
Absolutely.
And if that could have swayed their judgment, that means that they were going in emotionally and not off facts.
That's not true. They're going in off what it is that they witnessed on that stand, right? Okay. One of the favorite ones I like to refer to is the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. During that trial, the prosecutor aimed the gun at him, and when he aimed the gun at him, a lot of people that was reporting on the story said that was very uncomfortable for the jury. And then he turned around and he waved the gun in the jury direction. They felt uncomfortable. And then, not to include, is the way how he was treating Kyle on that stand. The jury didn't feel comfortable with that either. So if the prosecutor really had it out for Karmelo and he would have started bullying or badgering Karmelo, and he would have, and his defense was actually doing their job, objecting, then you probably could have had something there, because now the jury can see
2 times throughout the whole trial.
Man, his defense was ass, bro.
So this is like I said, when we get into the what ifs, the what ifs is going to be whatever we want them to be, because it's hypothetical.
Absolutely.
So that's why I don't really like diving into those, because it's so hypothetical and it's going to be whatever. In my opinion, I don't think that it would have budged the needle anyway. Their mind was already made up at that point. It wouldn't have budged the needle.
Gotcha. All right. This is where we get to the hard questions. We've been up here for 1 hour 25. Make sure y'all support the show. It's greatly appreciated. All right. So we get into the last leg of the question. So really quick. What does this case, for you, in your opinion, what does this case reveal about how we handle conflict among young men today?
The same way it always get. And it ain't just about young men, right? It's about prejudice. And when I say prejudice, I mean prejudice on both sides. On both sides, because when this took place, Austin was an angel, Karmelo was a demon. When the roles are reversed, Karmelo's a demon, Austin still's an angel. Even if the roles were reversed.
You mean like this? So even in this situation, Karmelo will still be the demon, even though he's white.
No.
What
Karmelo will be the demon because he's black and he's the attacker.
No, in this situation, Karmelo is white and Austin is black.
Exactly. All right, so Karmelo is white. So Karmelo wouldn't be the demon in that situation if he's white. Austin would be the demon because he's black. Picking on a white kid.
All right, so pushback. That's that prejudice that you're speaking to. Though I do acknowledge that it does exist. I think that's because of how society has really passed along those prejudices down, right? And even when it comes down to when it evolves into racism, that's a whole entire different argument that I really don't feel like having. We might, but I don't feel like having. The truth of the matter, I feel this way about it. I think that people support Karmelo because of the fact that he's black, and I think that people support Austin because he's the victim. I think that hold on, wait. I said this is how I was thinking. So in that thought process, once I step outside of the prejudice of how it is that I can view through a perspective lens, when I look and see, all right, people support Karmelo because they think that he's a good kid, he made a mistake. And people support Karmelo because in that situation, he should not have lost his life. That's me removing those prejudices, right? I think the biggest problem with society is that society is too stuck on those prejudices and they can't let them go. It's indoctrinated into them. It's instilled within them. It's taught to them. You see what I'm saying? The fact of the matter is that moving forward, this is why I asked you, as far as this case goes, how should we deal with conflict between young men? Young men still gonna fight regardless. Somebody's still gonna throw hands. A weapon or two might get involved, but I think it should be more de-escalation and conflict resolution rather than just resulting to just extreme violence. What do you think?
Therapy.
Okay, I agree.
Therapy, and what you were saying, right? That's the main topic that should be taken from this, whether you're black, white, Asian, Caucasian, whatever you want to be. Persuasion. Keep your hands to yourself, but also learn how to deal with conflict without it escalating to physical conflict.
Yeah.
Because you never know. That's the whole point for me. You never know what's on that other side.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Because you might say the wrong thing to somebody and they just don't care about their life, so they're gonna take yours.
Let me add, would you say that parenting plays a huge role in this?
Parenting plays a major role.
There you go.
It starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at home, but I also know that it's a lot of these parents doing the best that they can and their kids still making their own choices.
Absolutely.
And that's why I say they be like, oh, yeah, man, the 2-family household and this and that. And it sounds great, but it's still people that came up out of 2-family households who still are murderers and killers and drug dealers. And it's people that came up out of broken homes, who's lawyers, doctors, well, prosperous people.
Yeah.
Ultimately it's up to the person and how they adapt to certain situations. Everything is situational. Because we can look at something, right? Let's say you are in a house with a mother and father, and it's an abusive home. One might look at that and grow up and say, that's love. Another will grow up and say, that ain't right. I'm not going to be in a relationship like that. You getting what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They viewing the same thing, but they interpreting what they are viewing differently. One is saying that is love. So guess what? They go on throughout their life having abusive relationships because they think that that's them being in love. Another look at it and say, that ain't love. That's two people that hate each other. I don't want to be in that. You get, and that's what and that's all it is. And when we stop generalizing everything and understand that everybody ain't the same, we might have a lot of similarities, but we are all made different in our own way. So when I go out here and I yell, he should have kept his hands to himself, he'd still be here. That's to let people know. Don't just go out here putting your hands on people and thinking people are going to put their hands on you back. You said that's what I'm saying. I seen you done seen these videos where dude go to swing and before he can get in mid swing, his brain's blown out.
Yeah.
Because he was looking to fight. Yeah, I'll fight all day. But Buddy ain't trying to fight. Buddy ain't.
Yeah, some people ain't with that type of time. Some people they different. They animals out here. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like it's so when people saying, oh, it was just how many times have you seen schoolhouse fights or a fight that happened in the club escalate?
Plenty of times.
That escalate. And then you got social media. Don't nobody want to be on the social media platform for 3-4 weeks getting beat up.
I think social media made this case bigger than what it was supposed to be.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the initial thing was a high school pissing contest. Social media made it racial.
Yep.
And the story that they put out there, you had to have a villain. And that is how you demonize somebody. Instead of this being two kids who didn't handle this situation properly, you have one gone and another one fighting for his life and well, at this time before it happened, before he got convicted, fighting for his life, possibly in court off a 5-second decision. Instead of addressing that and trying to bridge that gap, no, it was, oh, he died in his brother's arms and it was so gruesome. It was so, and then stuff started coming out that he didn't die in his brother's arms.
Yeah, but that's the, and I sift through that minutia. That's the minutia that's unnecessary, right? The whole thing about his family getting swatted, the whole thing about he died in his arms, There was a fake story that Jeff Metcalf had a previous record for SA. We all know that that's not true. The thing about the judge being in lieu with the family, we know that that's not true. The thing about Karmelo's family, it was some things said about them. We know that's not true. I just think that that's just people slinging shit at the wall and just looking for it to stick. You see what I'm saying? And I think once
that's
people,
social media, that's gonna get you the clicks. That's gonna get you the money.
Absolutely. I think that once people stop endangering the facts by trying to over drown it with emotions and hypotheticals and whataboutisms, then we can actually get to how do we deal with this situation and treat it as the situation need to be handled as, rather than how we handle it because of how they handle it over here.
All right, stuff like this, right? He was already suspended for bringing a weapon to school. Where was that presented?
So you talking about Karmelo?
Yeah.
So it was first mentioned, I think it was like a week or two after it initially happened. And then they went to the school to get the records, but the school was like, we're not giving out the records. So it got debunked at first. But then there was a report that the police went to the school, and that in the police put it out there that yes, he was indeed on in-school suspension and that he wasn't even supposed to be at the track meet.
But see, that's what I'm saying. But in court, see, this is what I'm saying. In court, right? So if that was true, why in court did his coach say that he was entered into the track meet and was participating? See, that's what I'm saying.
That Karmelo was interested in track meet.
Karmelo was a participant in the track meet.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like, and then on top of that, right? Because they said that Austin was suspended.
Yeah, they lied about that too.
But see, this is what I'm saying. See, all of this get brought into it and people hold on to it. Now everything else that don't fit the narrative is wrong.
Well, it's whatever narrative you want to believe rather than just the facts, right? Because when we
dismiss it, easier to
was easier to tell than the truth.
That too. But it's easier to take in as well because it soothes your ego. It soothes what you're thinking, your narrative.
What did Denzel say in Trading Day? It's not about what you know; it's about what you can prove.
Exactly.
And if I can get a jury of 12 to just believe me, or if I can just get one person to just hang that jury, then guess what? I'm getting off, or I'm good, or I'm gonna get another try. I'm getting another shot at it. But that's that. My last question for you is, and I don't think we're gonna do a panel tonight. We already been up here for 1:37, and I got things to do. I got a wife.
Yeah, I got
a wife to do.
I thought this was gonna be for like a little hour or something, but hey, like I said, it was good.
I tried to keep it under. Yeah,
it was all this was good convo, right? All this was good convo. But like I said, my whole motto is this: keep your hands to yourself. You never know what's on the other end.
Yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, let's just talk about the facts. Right. Austin should have kept his hands to himself. Karmelo should never brought a knife. Karmelo should not have used that knife. Austin is gone. Karmelo is doing 35, possibly 17 and a half or anywhere in between. So at the end of the day, when you break it all down, do we got grounds for an appeal? We can talk about that, but these are real factual law type of situations. I'm still going to talk about it for the people that want to talk about it and who wasn't in court, who don't know what was going on and do those type of things, right? And you're going to make for it what you make for it. But the facts of the matter is not going to change. No matter how many times we do it live, the facts of the matters are what they are right now.
That's what I wanted to ask you before you get up out of here. So, you know, his parents wasn't in the courtroom during that sentencing, right?
They wasn't.
You can watch Queen 88 and Ratchet TV's live stream. Time it up exactly to when they read the verdict, and you can actually see his family walk out.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, did you see the father?
Yeah, I seen the father and the mother. They got into the Escalade, and then after the sentence hearing, you saw the grandmother and I think that was his uncle get into the car.
So all right, pull it up.
Just played it. Hold up. Go go to history right here.
Because they were there for the sentencing and they left when they did the impact statements, because they did the impact statements after the sentencing, because the mother had to give her. This is how they did it. I know it sounds weird, but in Texas, the impact statements don't come before sentencing. The impact statements come after sentencing. So when the mother spoke to try to get him less time, that was right before the sentencing. And
So
then
right
they
here.
did the impact statements.
So right here, I'm gonna pull the video up. So who's this right here? Who's these two people?
I have no clue who they are.
That's his grandmother right here.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I just concentrated on the court situation.
Yeah.
I don't know who those people are.
That's his grandmother. I'm telling you, that's his
Okay.
grandmother right there. And I believe this is his uncle right here, this guy right here. So this is after the sentencing.
Back off.
So that's his grandmother, and I believe his uncle. But even in JD Miles' report that he was doing, because I can pull that up too. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. JD Miles. Because I was on your head. I was listening to your show. I'm like, oh, he really gonna say that? And he just saw me play it. Oh, you motherfucker. I'm like, all right, cool. I got you.
No, I saw you showing them leaving out. That's what after that, I was already off. I had to do something.
Okay,
so cool. That's what I'm saying.
Let me pull up the report at 7:33 p.m. on June 9th. That's why somebody said, where's the receipts? I got you, sister. I got you. Right here. Jury sentencing Karmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison. The attorneys and the Metcalf family entered the courtroom, as well as Karmelo Anthony, who was crying and shaking. So this is after the verdict. Followed shortly by the judge and members of the jury. Anthony's parents are not in the courtroom, so they was not there.
Listen, keep going.
Yeah, the 19-year-old was sentenced to 35 years in prison. The jury rejected the sudden passion claim. Judge Roach will dismiss the jury, and then the victim impact statements will be read, and then the attorneys will hold a news conference. So you go up here to the next post at 8:15 p.m. The Metcalf family makes a victim impact statement. So victim impact statement from Megan Metcalf, victim impact statement from Jeff Metcalf. Then you go up here. Got the victim impact statement from Hunter Metcalf, Austin's Metcalf twin brother. And then you got the Collin County DA. They went out to do a news interview. But if you go before this, after the verdict was read, big reaction, Collin County. Hold on, I know how to do it. Mother. M-O-T-H-E-R. There we are. Karmelo Anthony's mother. So at 2:53 p.m., Karmelo Anthony's mother takes the stand for sentencing phase. The prosecution and defense both waived opening statements for the sentencing phase. The prosecution rested and the defense called Kayla Harris, Anthony's mother. He's my oldest, my firstborn. He will always be my baby. I love him very much. Does your son regret what he did? Yes, he's very sorry for what he did. The punishment phase of the trial ended after just one witness. So then they left after that. They didn't stay.
Okay, where is it at that they didn't stay? This is what I'm saying. Like, look, it says I'm reading what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading what you're saying. Now, where is it at that they didn't stay? Like you said, you had the video of them getting in the Escalade right around that time.
Oh, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go find Queen 88's live stream and Ratchet TV live stream. I'll send it to you on the
because that, like I said, because what I got from the people, from a couple of people that was in the court, they said that the mother was still there and the father was still there. They left when they did the impact statements.
Yeah, but that's not during the sentencing phase. That was after the verdict was read.
No, They said they were there during the sentencing phase. They were still in court during the sentencing phase. And they left after the impact statement, before the impact statements. The impact statements happened after sentencing.
Yeah, man, I got to be careful what I show on Queen 88's page because she be doing other stuff. Just give me a second.
So
I'll find it to you. I'll find it to you.
That's what I'm saying. Just send it to me. Like I said, I'm not one to call you no liar. I'm just telling you who people I trust that was there said that they were there. They left when the impact statements came in, which the impact statements came in after the sentencing.
Okay, I'll find it and I'll send it.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know, right?
Mhm.
I don't know because, and I also know that normally they don't do things this fast. Like this was shocking to a lot of people that they did things this fast.
Hold on for a second. Ms. Pinky says he's trying very hard to make his parents look bad. His parents are doing a good job at making themselves look bad.
Like I said, they're saying that. Like I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna say I don't know. For I don't know. I'm open to whatever at this point, right? Because I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing that first of all, normally when I hear about this, you get convicted and then you come back later for your sentencing. You don't normally do everything within hours of each other.
Yeah, that's what happened because after the verdict, they took him in the back and his parents went back there with him. Right? And then when they came back out, Karmelo was still crying and the DA was rubbing his back. He said, "Can I take him in the back for a second?" He said things are different now. He's convicted. The victim impact statement, which was Karmelo's mother, she gave her statement, and then the sentencing phase began.
And that's what
and they left him.
And that's what I'm saying. So if they were back there with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they were back there with him, and that's where the narratives get to running wild.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know what was said between them while they were back there.
Whatever can be said between them. I think that they left because they had to go get that Gibbs and Go money.
How?
Because they knew it was over. They knew it was over.
What could they do with the Gibbs and Go money?
Well, they already got part of it, so they got to get the rest of it.
But you know by law, right? It's legally binding. You have to state everything that you are going to use that money for.
Correct. And once he's convicted for a violent crime, you can't collect anymore.
Is that so? Now, they wrote down what they were using that money for in detail.
Mm-hmm.
So when people talking about, oh, they went and bought this and they went and bought that, they live in luxury. How? They can't. Because they were breaking the law.
How can they not? They said that the Gives and Go was for relocation, for security, and for what was the last thing? The legal fund, relocation, security, and legal funds.
Exactly. And that's what they have to use it on.
And so they relocated. So let me ask you a question. Can you use an Escalade to relocate?
They didn't buy an Escalade. That got debunked already.
Okay, can you use the money to pay for bills?
Yes.
Okay, so
and
then
they wrote in there that that's what they were going to do because the father had to take off work.
So he did. So instead of their son taking the plea deal, I'm being jovial right now because we're about to get up out of here. Instead of his son taking the plea deal, instead of his son taking the plea deal, which would have closed down the
plea deal. It was reports that he wasn't offered.
He could have pled guilty. This is why I say this shit. I know I'm being an asshole.
We up out of here.
All right, we up out of here. I was just playing.
Come on.
But no,
better than that. Man.
I appreciate you stopping by, dog, and I hope. I know I made quite a few people in your chat mad. I'm not a Karmelo supporter. I've said that since day one. I'm a supporter of the law, and when it comes down to it, that guy, Karmelo, he's guilty. He's lucky he only got 35. Because if it was my kid, I damn sure would have wanted him to get 99. If not, let me get my hands on him. But let the people know where they can find you at. So that way, what is that noise?
Fireworks. You hear them
Hey, y'all,
fireworks busting?
I hear the fireworks, G. Yeah,
They
yeah, I
out there,
forgot it's June nothing.
busting right now.
Yeah,
4th
they
of
doing
July
that
around
thing.
the corner. You know, they got them big boys.
See now people being racist. So now I'm a bootlicker. Anyway, go ahead. Let the people know where they can find you at. You feel?
Hey,
Come on,
man. Hey, if you like it, if you don't like it, man. 1250 podcast clips, man. 1250 podcast clips. If you like it, you don't like it, you can still come over. Have a good time. Just be respectful.
hold on for a second.
Just be respectful. That's it. That's all.
So, do you know who Tiffany Billions is?
No.
She's a huge supporter of Karmelo.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you a personal reason why I got a stake in this. I have a clip on a live stream that she was having on that she was having on TikTok, and there was a review on my show, and she was like, I hope what happened to Austin happened to his kids. So whenever y'all say, I hope you teach your kids something, leave my kids out of this. Don't bring my kids into this, right? Also, now I'm a tether. See, brother, this is what usually get the response, right? But I don't play around with my kids. I don't play around with people's kids. I just think that people just
no. That comment right there.
Oh, it's a hell of a response I could have gave.
No, I'm just saying. But that comment right there is what we need to be teaching our kids. Keep your hands to yourself.
Absolutely.
I tell my daughter all the time, we ain't doing that. But I also tell my daughter, you're gonna protect yourself. You ain't gonna let nobody put their hands on you.
Absolutely.
But you ain't about to go out here and go put your hands on people first. Learn how to de-escalate. Go get a teacher. I tell my daughter right now, go get an adult.
Because if you don't, you can be looking at 99 like Melo.
Exactly. Especially when you're dealing with the skin tone we got.
Well, the skin tone we got, and we need to start doing things to ourselves then, right?
Huh?
We need to start doing things to ourselves.
They get mad when we do that.
Who get mad?
The mothers.
Oh, well, guess what the mothers need to do? Get out the way.
They not.
See, I know they not. See,
they can't handle it.
Absolutely, but they keep jumping in the way though.
They want you gone. They want you gone until you're gone.
Exactly. But then they say, I don't need no man until it's time to need a man.
I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the salt. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about
I ain't worried about the salt. See, the beautiful thing is I have this beautiful thing called a wife. And the last thing I need to be worried about is them motherfuckers. She writes laws, goddamn it. We out of here.
Hey man, y'all be blessed, man.
Y'all take it easy. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for stopping by. Thank you to everyone who supported the show. This has been a great conversation, great talk. Probably do it again, but I'm glad that everyone was able to voice their opinions and get it out. We will see y'all next time. If we come up with something, we'll see y'all next time on the go around. Make sure y'all subscribe to the platforms, and peace and deuces.
Off top.